Okay, it's Friday, May the 7th, Friday this week because of the inclement weather earlier in the week, very April-like, so Friday today has turned out to be the drier day for filming purposes, and I'm doing around 10 miles of a country walking magazine walk today, bit of a different source, and this is their Sundon Hills Circular, starting here at the base of Sharpenhoe Clappers, not in the car park as they suggest. So, cracking day, about 12-13 degrees at the minute. It's around 1 o'clock, should be done by around 5ish. Let's see what pans out. Over there on my left, as I ascend Sharpenhoe Clappers, you've got Barton Hills, which have featured on a previous walk. As you can see there, we're following the Bunyan Trail at the moment. Decent views back. Good set of steps to ascend here. Have come down these previously on the Saturday Walkers Club walk. Harlington to Flitwick that was. Pulloxhill water tower over there features on today's walk. And because I've done elements of this walk before on that said walk, I'm doing the walk today in an anti-clock direction, which is counter to the walk directions, simply because I wanted a bit of variety, different aspects of the views. So the John Bunyan Trail was followed heavily on the Saturday Walkers Club walk, and is today as well. Got a bit of a breeze today from the east, no sorry, from the southwest, so we're back in the usual predominant wind direction. What a cracking view, eh? So let's capture that a bit more. Sun's gone in, unfortunately. Gonna get a bit of that today. Cloud forecast for this afternoon. One final view back. Great view. This is possibly the last view actually. Just found a gap in the hedge, gives me a different vista. Kite and a crow out there battling for dominance. So there we go, Pulloxhill water tower there. I'm aiming to have my lunch in Harlington. One final view of the Clappers, still on the John Bunyan Trail. And that's why I parked down on the main B road. Although having said that, there are spaces at the moment. It's quite busy though for a Friday lunchtime. Quite a few people about. And this is the car park from whence, okay, got that wrong. This is the car park whence the GPX starts. As you can see, now joining the Moleskin and Markham Hills. Now on both the Icknield Way and the John Bunyan Trail. Now walking through a strip of classic Chiltern beechwood, which is just coming into bud. Quite late tree to leaf, this one. Wonderful. Lovely spread of bluebells now on my left in this wood. Makes up for the manure heap behind me. There's that white mausoleum that I've featured on my walks before. I do believe that to be Rest Park. Not 100% certain, but I think that's what it is. Not too far distant from Pulloxhill there. I think today's height variations are 520 feet to 207. We might have already done the high point at Sharpenhoe. Not certain though, because Harlington's quite high. Sharpenhoe over there on my right. 2 mile in now, by the way. Large fields on my left. Chalky fields. Last time I did this walk in the opposite direction was 5 years ago already. Can't believe that. Only seems like yesterday. Wasn't that long after my hip surgery. Incredible. I remember at this point, almost, I filmed some kites eating a sheep's carcass. Sorry, I can't add up. 4 years ago. 17 and 21, difference is 4 years. I've been locked up too long, I think. Can hear the hum of the M1 not too far distant, unfortunately. We're not that far north of Luton, by the way, just to give you an idea where we're at. Now the GPX brings me to this car park and picnic table by the looks of it, for no obvious reason. So I wonder if the author of the walk had a break there. In any case, our onward journey would probably be through that kissing gate and down the valley there. Wonderful view now in the sun of Sharpenhoe, which pretty much forms the centrepiece for this walk, if I recall. It's always visible. I've seen a lot of this tiny little flower today. Don't know if anyone can recognise it. Lovely looking thing. Passing an old chalk works here. Chiff chaff in the background. So the GPX actually takes us through this old chalk workings. That looks like Harlington up on the ridge. Still following the Icknield Way trail, left the John Bunyan Trail up there in the woods. Wonderful bit of rough set aside there. Although having said that, it's quite quiet today on the bird song front, probably because they're nesting. Not much going on really. Lovely goldfinch. Wonderful bird. Come off this lane here, there's a finger post marked for the church, which is handy enough. That's where I'll have my lunch, I think. These all look like they've been freshly painted, as usual in Bedfordshire. Very well maintained paths, etc. Thanks to the likes of Barry Ingram and the Ripple team. So as you can hear there, classic skylark territory here. Soothes the mind. 3 o'clock, almost at the church. Views back prior to lunch. So there is St Mary's Church, which I recall doesn't have any seats in it, but there might be some available in this rec sports ground that I'm stood in. Okay, around 3:30, lunch has been had, time to press on. We're around 5 miles into the walk here, which would intimate approximately halfway, but I'm not convinced. That's certainly the distance my GPS has recorded, GPS even. But looking at the map, it seems like we're probably only a third of the way round. I hope that's wrong. Anyway, time will tell, and I certainly won't be done by 5-ish. Let's see. Looking back from Harlington, pretty much at today's walks thus far. Wonderful views from these houses behind me. So there you go. You come across all sorts of interesting information on these walks. Don't know where the oak tree is that it refers to. Probably in that section over there. And as you can see, more hedge planting here. Been here a while, but nonetheless, good stuff. There is said oak, still alive and kicking. So at this juncture, following the tree line there, you end up back at Sharpenhoe. Our onward journey here is slightly to the left. The finger post mark Pulloxhill. And a newly planted plantation of what looks like some kind of is it a poplar or a willow? Don't know, might even be a downy birch. Interesting song, possibly a chaffinch. As you can see, it is quite wet here, low lying, so this must be the low point of the walk today, 200 odd foot. But even after days with no rain, you can see the damage. There is a little deviation to your left there, brings you past the dampness. Wonderful to see all this tree planting. Certainly not happening in Hertfordshire in this way anyway. They plonk a forest down near St Albans called Hartswood and hope that'll please people. But it doesn't please nature, unfortunately. You do need these little pockets to create communication channels. Lucky again, my old muckers are in the far field, but they could easily be in this field. There's the hole in the hedge. As I approach this farm, now we're stood outside the barns of Upper Samps Hill farm on the map. And you don't take the obvious finger post here to Pulloxhill, but continue left here at this junction with the lane, so go down the lane, not that way into the barn. We're around 300 foot here per my GPS, just outside Upper Samps Hill farm. See there, you got one of the original John Bunyan Trail markers and the more omnipresent one now. As we do a right down this bridleway, there's another new sign. I've noticed quite a few of these private signs on this afternoon's walk. Invariably that's down to walkers that have appeared within the last year and don't understand the countryside code, I would guess. No coincidence, I wouldn't have thought. Lovely robin in the background there. There's another. And more of this as well. I mean, people that understand the countryside code don't need all this. And I don't mean that rejigged new version, wishy-washy, completely useless version of the countryside code. If you have a look at it, it's absolutely a waste of time. I mean the old one. More hedge planting, wonderful. Solar farm over there. Not a great fan of those. Mainly because they're inefficient and will soon prove them to be the case. They'll be ripping them out soon. Waste of money. Loss of land. Still, it's a step in the right direction, I guess. But like electric cars, they're only a pause, really. Hydrogen cars are the way to go. Yeah, now security cameras. Certainly Big Brother out this way. Well, I'm pleased to say, 7th of May, just seen my first house martin. Amazing, very late this year, unlike the swallows who were here very early. Good to know anyway. My GPS tells me we're at 352 feet here, so it's not the high point of the walk. Pretty sure that's Sharpenhoe, but pretty decent vista. You can see this tower from where I live. Just opposite the water tower, take Black Hill Lane to continue our journey back. What a fantastic view from Pulloxhill, eh? Right on the edge of the village now, just descending. I don't know how much difference the lack of planes at Luton makes, but I don't know where the flight paths are, but this is brilliant today. Great walk. Walking through a section of copse now, with a nice new barn up on my right there. Do remember this section now. I saw a fox not far from here on the last time I did this. So having just got through one field of bullocks, now got to encounter another field of cows. And so close to the end as well. These don't look so amenable. Got to get across their field somehow. And there's the other lot behind me. Thankfully behind that fence. Wow, lost a massive amount of time there. About 25 minutes I'd say. Eventually the farmer turned up to feed them, but I duped him, managed to get across the field and had a conversation with him. They certainly were interested in me, particularly the black one amongst them. There you go, life out in the countryside. Fantastic, yet another woodland being planted. Bedfordshire's really on the ball, well impressed. Central Beds anyway. So there you go, homeward bound. Barton Hills over there in the distance. Wonderful. Apart from those damn cattle. There you go, more deer. So after Woburn, these are actually wild deer, about half a mile away. Hence the rocky picture. I'm at maximum zoom here. Let's see, they've got wind of me. Little monk jacks again. View back to Pulloxhill water tower and the journey thus far. Okay, it's just gone 6. So much for my 5-ish prediction, but things happened, in the walk. That's also 11 miles, so not the 10 that I was predicting, and certainly not the 9.5 that the magazine says it is. But I did have a few variations there, diversions actually. Probably added another half mile onto it, looking for a way out of that field. But other than that, that was probably the best walk I've done this year, since my return anyway. Cracking walk that was, and the weather, brilliant. Wind dropped, and a perfect walking temperature. Nice and chill, well, not that chilly, about 13, 14 now, but wonderful. So that's a nice walk, nice and hilly, nice and varied, and nice and rural. Far better than Hertfordshire, Bedfordshire is. Do like it over this way. Have to see if I can find some more in this direction, because I'm running out of Bedfordshire ones. It's a shame that Bedfordshire Ramblers don't advertise their walks on their website like Hertfordshire do. But anyway, I'll find something. So that's Country Walking Magazine's Sundon Hills Circular completed, and highly recommended. Till the next time.